out here in Digi Millionaire Land. And remember what I said about that golden goose? Would you rather have the egg? I mean, the goose that lays the golden eggs. Would you rather have the golden eggs, or would you rather have the goose? Think about it. Who would rather have the goose that lays the golden eggs, or do you want the egg? Put in your questions box. Let me see now. Okay, I see. Okay.
Somebody said me.
Goose, all day goose. All right, so Doc, tell us how we can get that goose.
All right, good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's webinar. This is the first webinar of this particular kind. Those of you who have followed us for a while, you'll hear some things that perhaps you've heard before, but then you're going to also get some new content. Those of you who are here for the very first time, welcome to our CRB Digi Millionaire webinar. And in tonight's webinar, our objective is to reveal to you a believable path. That's the key word, believable. Believable. No swinging around the chandeliers. Queen, to make sure that if I get too excited that I come back down, because we're in teaching mode. And we're not in marketing mode. We're in teaching mode. I want you to get some phenomenal content. And I want you to walk away from tonight's webinar. And if I do my job, you will walk away from tonight's webinar no matter where you stand right now financially. All right. You might be nearing retirement with very little retirement savings. You might be working a job where you're not making that much money. You might be in a country where your wage is not that much compared to, let's say, someone who might be in the U.S. or Australia. I do not care where you stand financially. You're going to walk away from tonight's webinar saying, yes, I see not a hyped up path, but a believable path to becoming a Digi Millionaire. We're going to reveal our 5-step Digi Millionaire roadmap. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to clear off all distractions. Make sure that you are watching this on your best device. Put your cell phone in another room. No texting or Skyping or Facebooking or what have you. And because this is the first time we've done this particular webinar, I'm going to say set aside about 75 minutes. We might be able to do it inside of that time, not sure. But set aside at least 75 minutes for the content that we are going to share. Okay, let's get started. My goodness, had you and I known about this Bitcoin space and done just a little in this space back in 2010, had we had just $100 that we had invested in Bitcoin, that would be worth over $75 million today. But that's not completely accurate. And the reason that's not completely accurate is because this was posted, this article about $100 in 2010 being worth $75 million today was actually posted back on May the 23rd of last year. Now, May the 23rd of 2017, Bitcoin was going for about $2,200. Now, we've seen Bitcoin near the $20,000 mark. Right now, she's in that 11,000. She's been playing around between about 10 and 11. Yesterday, she got up to the high 12,000s. All right. The point is that you at 12,000, okay, that's almost 6 times more than it was May 20 whatever of last year. So you'd have to take $75 million and multiply it times close to 6 times. So whatever that figure is, that's a big number. $100 worth of Bitcoin back just 7.5 years ago would be worth into the hundreds of millions of dollars. My gosh! If we could just go back, we can't go back. Can't go back to 2010. But what we can do is make some choices today and tomorrow, and next week, and next month, and next year, hopefully, if we live to see those tomorrow, next week, next month, and next year. All right, so if you are newer to this space, What is Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is a form of digital currency. It is created, Marlene, and is held electronically. So you are never, Donna, going to have a physical Bitcoin. All right, you're never going to have a physical Bitcoin because it's all electronic. Now, here's going to be a really big key for tonight's lesson. Bitcoins are not printed like dollars, US dollars, or Euro dollars, or Australian dollars, or what have you. They come about through lots of people running computers all around the world and using software that solves very detailed, very difficult mathematical problems. Now, that sounds techie, and it is, and I'm not a techie, so let's just kind of break it down. That is what's referred to as mining. That's referred to as mining. And mining is basically the way that Bitcoin and other Digi assets or Digi coins, this is why we call this this whole space Digi. A lot of times you hear it called cryptocurrency. We like to call it Digi, short for Digi currency. All right, but the way that transactions are confirmed is through something called mining, and that's basically having computers that solve these very long, drawn out, difficult mathematical problems. So the way Bitcoin comes into existence, the way many of the other coins come into existence, is they are mined. M-I-N-E-D. And no, we're not going down mining for coal or gold or silver. I guess we are mining for gold, but it's digital gold. Now, here's the key. No one single institution, no one single government controls the Bitcoin network. It is truly upsetting the apple cart. It is truly causing major changes around the globe. Because what this does is it puts the people in control of their own stores of wealth. It puts people, average, everyday, Joe Average, Sue Average, in control of their money, not the big banks, not the Federal Reserves, not the International Monetary Fund. If you are in this space, you get to have your own money. And the beautiful part is nobody can tell you who to send it to, when to send it. You don't have to go into a bank and ask. Years ago, my wife and I, we've been in this home business space since 1994. Struggled like most people early on. Finally started hitting our stride around 2003 or so. Since then, we've developed 6-7-figure business interests. And a few years ago, we were promoting a particular offer, made more money with that particular offer than we had ever made before. And so from a financial standpoint, we were doing better than we had ever done before. And we were starting to, our attorney said, hey, you need to start diversifying and maybe looking at doing some things offshore and some investments offshore, maybe even moving offshore. And we did all of that. The problem was that one of our banks, because we were sending funds offshore to do some investments offshore, one of our banks just closed down one of our accounts. There was another bank we went into. We wanted to make a sizable withdrawal. And boy, they ran us through the ringer, asked us all these questions. You didn't ask me all these questions when we put the money in the bank. Why are you asking me all these questions about my own money? They were asking me, what are we going to do with the money? Ain't none of your bleepity bleep bleep business. I've got Reverend Don Holt on here, so I better leave it like that. This is a family show. Uncle Roo, he'll say it for me though, won't you, Uncle Roo? He'll put that bleepity bleep for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, they are saying that if Bitcoin does The next, gosh, what are we in 2018 now? The next less than 3 years, what it's done the last 7. That the price of Bitcoin, which is now in the 11,000s or so, is going to hit $250,000 a coin. Now, if you're new, let me help you understand something. You don't have to purchase a full Bitcoin. And remember, you're never going to actually physically hold the coin. It's all electronic. Okay, you don't have to actually purchase a full Bitcoin. Just like, let's take the US dollar. The US dollar, if you were spending US dollars, you could also denominate it in 0.01. That would be 1 penny. So 0.01, you've got the decimal and then 2 numbers beyond the decimal. 0.01, a penny. 0.06, 6 cents. 0.09, 9 cents. 0.27, 27 cents, so on and so forth. In the Bitcoin space, in the Digi space, you've got your decimal, and then you've got 8 numbers beyond that decimal so that you can buy a fraction of 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 a Bitcoin. So if you were doing business in Bitcoin and whatever you were purchasing, you were exchanging your store value for a product or a service, and you wanted to send $50 worth of Bitcoin, you can do that. $5 worth of Bitcoin, you could do that. All right. So there's a gentleman by the name of Jameson Lopp. He is a big-time BitGo software engineer, really big in the Bitcoin space. And about the middle of last year, he sat down and looked at the previous 7 or so years, way back to 2010, to look at the daily average value change in Bitcoin. Now, it's interesting. If you watch the U.S. media, you'll hear them talk about the U.S. stock market making all-time highs. And if you were to look at the U.S. stock market, let's use the Dow Jones Industrials. That's a basket of 30 stocks, 30 big stocks. That's what you typically hear about when you hear about the stock market in the U.S. The Dow was up today or down today. If you were to look at the Dow from the bottom, the trough, let's go back to 2008 when there was the financial calamity that sent shockwaves throughout the global financial community. And, people's 401ks and their retirement plans were cut in half during that period of time. If you look at the bottom of the market back in 2008 to the top of the market at the stock market's most recent high, that's about just a little over a 300% increase. So, had you bought into the stock market, let's say you had a mutual fund or an exchange traded fund that mimicked the Dow, the movement on the Dow, from the trough in 2008 to the current time, you'd be up about 3 times on your original investment. That's really good. No, that's excellent. In less than a full 10 years to have tripled, your 10,000 would have made 30,000, your 100,000 would have made 300,000. Now, what's interesting is sometimes when I do watch media, and if they talk about Bitcoin, it's almost as if, they make it sound like Bitcoin is some type of scam. As a matter of fact, some people have even said that. Some people in the financial world that want things to stay as they are because they make a lot of money the way things are would say Bitcoin is a fraud or Bitcoin is a scam. Look at this. In 2013, Bitcoin was up on average per day 1.11%. Wait a minute. How many days are there in a week? And unlike the stock market that takes a breather every weekend and on major holidays, not this Digi space. The Digi markets are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. They never go to sleep. You would have made well over 300% in 1 year. And I'll share with you what you could have made in 2017 had you started off January 1 with some Bitcoin and just held on to it until December 31st. I'll show you that in just a moment. So let's share with you our Digi Millionaire roadmap. And then we're going to really light you on fire with some powerful content. All right, step 1, 5-step Digi Millionaire roadmap. Number 1, we've got to get some Digi education. Listen, our aim is to get you to Digi Millionaire status. You got to do a little bit. You got to do your part. How do I go from cash money, for instance, to Digi? How do I buy some Bitcoin or Ethereum or some of these other Digi assets? Then how do I take my Digi assets? Let's say I bought some Bitcoin and now I want to convert some of that back to usable, spendable cash. How do I do stuff like that? Hey, how do I protect myself from the bad guys? People that might want to hack my account. Stuff like that. Matter of fact, on this coming Thursday, we're going to talk quite a bit about security, because I was recently a victim of a hack attempt. And so I need to tell you what happened and what I didn't do right. Should have known better. I knew better. I just got lazy. And what I did do right, so that hopefully you won't ever have that issue. Digi education number 2. This is where you become a Digi millionaire. Developing your own coin, or what we may refer to as Digi portfolio, that you own, that you control. Not close. Your best opportunity to become a Digi millionaire is for you to have some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some Litecoin, and some other Digi assets that you are starting to develop. May not have a lot of money to start with. That's okay. That's all right. Keep following what we're teaching. You'll get there. Okay? And you don't have to get started with a lot to start growing your asset base. Number 2, not close. Best way for you to become a Digi millionaire. And I'm going to show you that tonight. Number 3, participate in one or more of our auto Digi profit systems. These are third-party systems that allow you to grow your Digi asset bases. Now, we love these systems because they allow us a few things. With that being said, please understand, by far not even close, the best way to become a Digi millionaire is for you to do number 2. We're going to leverage number 3 to help you do more of number 2. You'll understand that more in a few moments. Number 4, I know that many of you have tried marketing in some form or fashion. You've tried to recruit. You've tried to sell. And most people suck at recruiting and selling. It's not because you suck at marketing. It's because most people don't know what marketing is. And most people don't have the proper tools, resources, keyword, asterisk this word, traffic. If you have the proper tools and the proper resources, a tool as an example, a lead capture mechanism. So when people were looking to get more information, you gave in a value exchange. Hey, I'll give you some valuable content, some valuable information if you'll give me your email address. A lead capture mechanism. Number 2, if you had a robust follow-up system. Most people aren't going to buy or join or buy the first time they see and or hear the message. It typically takes a follow-up sequence, a series of emails that goes out to them as an example on a consistent basis, reiterating what you've been talking about. See, most people, they're not content creators and couldn't put that together if they had to. So if you follow what we teach, guess what? You won't have to, because that's what we do. We are content creators, and we're pretty darn good at it. Now, I know when you first came on the webinar, you were blown away by our singing skills. Really good at that too, right? I'm gonna love you forever. I get it. I know. I'm just gonna stop there because I'd have to charge you for the rest. But where we really excel is breaking down these complex financial concepts in a way that Joe and Susie Average can digest and say, now I got it. We're going to help you build a network of others that participate Because we're going to help you. You're going to have the systems, the lead capture pages, and robust follow-up systems, and ultimately traffic, where people are constantly seeing your messaging. And then there's going to be other credible Digi offers that will come up. Now, we're going to test a lot of things. Most things that we test won't work. All right, we're going to put our funds into play into a project over here, and it may fold on us. We may lose some money. We're never going to invest any money, whether we're talking about Digi, whether we're talking about the stock market, whether we're talking about a boring certificate of depreciation, or CD. I'm sorry, certificate of deposit. That's right. We're never going to invest in anything if we're not willing to lose it. If we're not willing to lose it, or we can't afford to lose it, we can't afford to invest it. So we're going to test a lot of stuff. Many of the things that we test ain't going to work. But it's going to be that one or two things that we test that works, that will erase any of the things that didn't and put us on higher ground. And I've seen it time and time again in my 20 plus years in this industry. Most things I have tried in this industry have not worked. Most things I've tried in this industry, I lost money with this company or that company or this deal or that deal. But then you hit it. And so you don't know until you try some stuff. Then you hit it, and all of a sudden, you make so much more to overcome any of those losses and to put you in really good financial situation. Now, we believe that for most people, that this journey, it might be a 3 to 5 year journey to get to the Digi millionaire status. And we know that most people want something well before the next 3 to 5 years. So we're going to have some nearer term targets, which will include developing a meaningful monthly cash flow, then also developing a monthly Digi coin portfolio budget. So we want to get you to the point where, I don't know what it is for you. Is it $500 a month? Is it $1,000 a month? Is it $2,000 a month? Is it $5,000 a month for a meaningful monthly cash flow? But we also want to get you to the point where you got $200, $500, then $1,000, then $2,000, then $5,000, and $10,000 a month just for your coin portfolio budget, and a monthly budget for marketing. What happens if you are putting an extra $2,000 meaningful monthly cash flow in your pocket, but you also have $1,000 coin portfolio budget per month and $1,000 marketing budget per month? Yeah, there's $4,000, $2,000 going to your family's budget, $1,000 going to your monthly coin portfolio, $1,000 going to your monthly marketing budget, which would then increase your overall inflows. You can't have $1,000 monthly marketing budget with a good system and not have some people wanting to join you, buy from you, so on and so forth. Because marketing is just a function of the number. So if you've not been good at it, it's likely because you just haven't gone through enough numbers. And when we talk about marketing, we're not talking about you having to go and chase down your friends and your family. So if you are in the NFL, no friends left club, that's okay. All right. So let me show you that the best way for you to become a Digi millionaire is for you to develop a Digi portfolio, a coin portfolio that you own and you control. So let's go to the marketplace. And if you are a newbie with us, jot this down: coinmarketcap.com. Matter of fact, let me put it up on my whiteboard. Give us a moment. All right, so go to coinmarketcap.com. We are here every day, several hours a day. We're in front of the computer several hours a day as we're full-time in our business. And we always have CoinMarketCap up and running when we're in front of the computer. Okay. All right. So CoinMarketCap.com, this is the go-to site for those of us in the Digi space. And let's scroll down a little bit so we won't have all that flashing stuff distracting us. All right, now on this site, you're going to see that there are 1,476 Digi assets on this site alone. Now, not every Digi asset, not every what they refer to as a token or a coin, not every one of those is listed on CoinMarketCap. But the ones that matter the most are. Now, not every one of these 1,476 are we going to want to have in our coin portfolio. Okay, so we're going to be very selective as to the assets that we put in our portfolio. All right, so you're going to see here, for instance, let me refresh again. All right, so Bitcoin is going for just under $11,000 a coin right now. And it is the number one coin. It is the 800-pound gorilla. Now, when you're at CoinMarketCap, you're going to see that on the homepage, it breaks these assets down by their market cap. What the heck is that? The market cap is the circulating supply. In other words, how many of these tokens or coins are in the marketplace now? So 16.8 million for Bitcoin times the current market price equals your market cap. So Bitcoin has a market cap of $181 billion. Now let's put that into perspective. Apple Computer, its market cap, its outstanding shares of stock times its price is just under $1 trillion. 900 and some odd billion dollars. One company, Apple, howbeit one of the biggest companies in the world, one company, Apple, dwarfs the entire Bitcoin space. The entire Bitcoin space is $520 billion, $500 billion. Now, what that says is that even though you might be hearing more and more about Bitcoin, and you may think the train has left the station, this is still in its infancy. To use a baseball analogy, we're still in the first inning. Okay, so Bitcoin, all right, is number one as of now. Ethereum is number two, all right, going for 972 a coin there, or token. Ripple is number three, $51 billion, Bitcoin Cash, so on and so forth. All right, now, here's what I want to do. I want to prove to you that the best way for you and I to become digi-millionaires is for us to have a coin portfolio that we own. You own yours, I own mine, okay? Because nobody can come and take that away from you. All right, so what we're going to do at this site, if you were to come under his tools and then historical snapshots, we can go back in time. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at what were prices of Bitcoin or Ethereum. And we'll take a look at like 4 or 5 of these assets. What were they on January 1, 2017? And then what were they on December 31st, 2017? In other words, had you bought Bitcoin on January 1, 2017, held on to it through the ups and the downs and the ebbs and the flows, and the people saying it's a scam, and the people saying Bitcoin's going to 1 million. You have a Bitcoin expert who says it's going higher, and you got some other financial expert on CNBC saying Bitcoin's a bubble and it's going to crash and you're going to lose all your money, and it's a pyramid Ponzi scheme. Through all that stuff, what would have happened? So let's take a look at that. All right, so we have this up on, give me a moment. Okay, so let's look at, let's look first, it'll be easier. Let's look first at December 31st, okay, 2017. What was Bitcoin going for on December 31st, 2017? $13,170.18. Let's put this in our calculator. 13,000, my gosh. $170.18. All right. Now, let's subtract out what it was going for January 1, 2017. This is the price that it was going for on December 31st. What was it going for on January 1st? You'll see here, January 1st, 2017. See that? Let's go back, make sure you saw this here. December 31st, 2017. And you can, by the way, you can go here on coinmarketcap.com. You can do your own little research here. Under tools, historical snapshots. I just pulled up December 31st, 2017 and January 1st, 2017. That's all I did. Okay. All right. So what was it going for on January 1st, 2017? $963.06. So we're going to take what it was going for December 31st, $13,170.18. We're going to subtract out what it could have been purchased for the first part of that year, $963.06. All right, so let's say that on January 1, 2017, you bought some Bitcoin. You bought one Bitcoin for $963.06. Forgot about it. Walked away. Market went up some days, went down some days, went down some days, went up some days. The month of July, my gosh, it was a bloodbath. Seems like every day it was going down 5% here and 7% there and 15% there. Oh my gosh. And then she started going up and 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 up. All right. So if you had bought it for the 963s and held on to it at its price of 13,170, you would be up. This would be your profit per Bitcoin. $12,207.12. Now let's figure out our rate of return. How do we do that? We take our profit, or what could have been our profit. We divide that by what we could have started with, the 963.06. The answer is going to give us an equation with a decimal. Here we go. 12.67. Okay. We got to go back to math, early math, when we dealt with percentages. For some of us, we got to go back further than others. Okay. If you move your decimal 2 places to the right, that would tell you what your percentage was. Wait a minute. Move this 2 decimals to the right. That's 1,267%. Had you bought Bitcoin January 1, 963.06, held on to it December 31st at 13,170, your profit divided by what you started with would have given you your rate of return. Move your decimal 2 places to the right, 1,200 and close to 68%. Another way of looking at this is you could say, wait a minute, my money, whether I had $100 worth of Bitcoin, $500 worth of Bitcoin, $100,000 worth of Bitcoin, my money sitting in Bitcoin would have grown by a factor, would have profited, I should say, by a factor of 12.67 times. So I want you to think this through. Let's say you had $1,000 sitting in your savings account from January 1, 2017 to December 31st, 2017. How much would your $1,000 have made? What? 1.25% for the whole year? About $12, $12.50, something like that. Okay. Look at what your $1,000 would have profited times 1,000. Your $1,000 in Bitcoin would have profited $12,675. Now, nobody can promise that that's going to happen this year. We don't know. Okay, we have no idea. I'm just telling you what could have happened if we had $100 in Bitcoin back in 2010. My gosh, you'd be worth several hundreds of millions of dollars, and none of us, including myself, would be on this webinar tonight. The goal is to get to the point that in the next 3 to 5 years, you never have to attend another business webinar, investment webinar, no nothing. Go and enjoy your life. Go and fund your dreams. Get those dreams off the shelf and blow off the dust. But it's not just Bitcoin. It's not just Bitcoin. Let's show you one. If you were in our email, this is the one I was alluding to in our email. Let's show you one called Monero. Okay. All right. So Monero on December 31st, 2017 was going for $338.10. Tell you what, let's put our 1265% on the whiteboard so we can compare this. So Bitcoin, also referred to as BTC, was 1,267, almost 1,268% in 2017. All right, let's look at another asset. Now, most people have never heard of Monero. Monero is one of the leading, if not the leading, what they call privacy coins. It's even more private than Bitcoin, far more private than even Bitcoin, okay? And people that value their privacy love Monero. All right, so it was going for $338.10 on December 31st. Okay, so $338.10 December 31st. We're going to subtract out what it was going for on January 1st, Monero right here. All right, again, you can see January 1st, 2017. Monero was going for $13.58. So we're going to subtract out $13.58. This gives us our profit. If you had bought some Monero coin, or if you had mined some Monero coin, we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a few moments. And let's say you had a Monero coin on January 1st, 2017. Let's say you bought that one. And then on December 31st, it was at $338 and some change. You'd have $324.52 in profit. Now we take the profit, divide it by what we could have purchased it for. If you're mining Monero, by the way, you're not having to pay for it. You are creating Monero if you're mining it. Remember, mining is the process of confirming transactions. And we'll share with you how you could have a device about the size of an iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy in the privacy of your own home connected to the internet, how you could potentially mine something like Monero. Could be some other coins too, okay? All right, here we go. So here's your profit, all right? That was your profit. Now we divide it to get our rate of return, 2,389%. Remember, you got to move that decimal 2 places to the right. All right, so most people are hearing about Bitcoin, all right? But Monero kicked the catootie, the backside of Bitcoin last year, generating almost double the profits from this privacy coin that's so private that most people don't even know what Monero is. Oh, did you hear that lyrical miracle? You know, I'm a country singer. I'm a teacher and educator, but I'm also the lyrical miracle. I said something about no, and then I said Monero right behind it. My gosh, I am the hip hop mogul. It has kicked the catootie of Bitcoin. Let me show you 5 of these assets, including Bitcoin, including Monero, to make my point that the best way, not close, for you and I to become Digi millionaires is to have our own coin portfolio. Now, what you just saw me do, I did with 5 assets. I looked at where they were January 1 of last year, where they were December 31st of last year. I've already done the numbers. All right, and I want you to see just how powerful this is, okay? So give me a moment. Bear with me. Okay, so Bitcoin, you just saw us do those numbers. All right, Bitcoin is up 1,268%. Put a decimal where you've got two numbers to the right, and that tells you how much your money would have grown by. So your money would have grown by a factor of 12.68%. You would have done more than 12 times your original capital outlay if you had bought some Bitcoin. Here is Monero. Okay. Put that point there. Your capital would have grown by a factor of 23.9 times. Look at Ethereum. It was $8.26. Ended December 31st at $721.66. Just under $1,000 as we speak now. 8,637% return. And there are people that would crap, or that would poop on this niche. People who would say, you better stay away from that Bitcoin. Better stay away from that Monero. Oh, that's risky. You know what's risky? Keeping your money in a savings account. Keeping all of your money in a certificate deposit. Now, I'm not telling you to liquidate your retirement account and put it all in Digi. I'm not saying that. Not saying that at all. What I am saying is that many of us are behind on some stuff. Behind on retirement. Behind on college education for kids. Behind on leaving a legacy for our grandchildren. Behind on funding that nonprofit or our place of worship. We want to do more to help out our community. And we need a pot of money that we can afford to lose, not going to hurt our family, that we can be a little more aggressive with. And here the aggressiveness was simply you bought some Bitcoin and held on to it for a year. You bought some Ethereum and held on to it for a year. Well, look at this one. Ripple. Ripple was less than 1 penny. Ripple was 0.6 of a penny. 0.01 is 1 penny. It was 0.00654. It's still only $2 at the end of December. Percentage return 32,000%. You got to put your decimal so that you got two places to the right. If you had some Ripple, your Ripple investment would have grown by a factor of 323 times. $1,000 invested in Ripple at the end of the year would have been $323,000 in Digi value. If we just look at these 5 assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Monero, and notice all of these have kicked the patootie, the backside of Bitcoin. Bitcoin gets all the headlines, but it's a lot of other assets kicking the backside of Bitcoin. Hey, what if you had taken $1,000 and invested 1,000 in Bitcoin, 1,000 in Ethereum, 1,000 in Ripple, 1,000 in Litecoin, 1,000 in Monero, forgot about it, came back at the end of 2017, $5,000 total invested. What would that have amounted to in a year's time? Let's do this. Let's just do a little addition here. Look at that. $509,000 worth of Digi value. Wait a minute. What if you had done 2,000 here, 2,000 here, 2,000 here, 2,000 here, 2,000 here? I can't promise that that's going to happen over this next 12 months. There are some people who are saying that Bitcoin by 2020 is going to be $250,000 a coin. If that's the case, we've got a long way to go from its current levels. And it's actually come down from the beginning of the year. Some people did some, there's been a little sell-off. Some people did that so they can pay some taxes, okay? $2,000 per asset, $10,000. Double this, you'd be a Digi millionaire. My gosh! And yet there are people who will poop. So you better stay away from that Bitcoin. You better stay away from that Monero. That stuff is risky, child. I wouldn't risk it. Okay. Let me tell you what's risking it. I've already said it. earning 1 and 2 and 3% a year, where it's going to take 30, 40, 50 years to double your money once. Here, 12 times your money in a year, 86 times your money in a year, 323 times your money in a year, 49 times your money in a year, 23 times your money in a year. All right, let me stop for just a moment. If I have proven without hype, yeah, my voice inflection goes up and down and what have you. If I've given you value and you say, I see how I can ultimately someday become a Digi millionaire. I haven't talked about a third-party system or anything like that. If you see yourself being a Digi millionaire, in your questions box, put Digi millionaire. My gosh! 2,000 per asset, 10,000 would have put you at over Digi millionaire status. My goodness. Somebody said, I see the light. Good. Okay. All right. So now, Queen mentioned something very important. She mentioned something very important. Now, I've been in the marketing industry and the investment arena since 1994. Started with a marketing company that had financial products, insurance, annuities, mutual funds, mutual fund-based products. So I actually got my licenses in 94 to market mutual funds. I was really interested more in the investment side than the marketing side. I knew nothing about marketing. By 1999, we were starting to learn about trading in the stock market, and we got really good at it. And we actually started teaching people how to trade in the stock market. At the time, we lived in the U.S., and we back then, some of you may remember the late 90s, the dot-com boom. There were these stock market workshops that were in vogue at that time. You'd go to a 2-3 hour dog and pony show. They give you some great content, and then they would hit you with the $10,000 stock market workshop. But if you act today, you get to go for $49.95. Yeah, I went around the country with one of those. Okay, and met some amazing traders. And one gentleman who made $2 million in one day on I forget what they termed it, but it was one day that the stock market got absolutely crazy, and he made $2 million that day. That day. Scott Rubel. We'll never forget Scott Rubel. He traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So I got a chance to hang around some folks like that knew a whole lot more about this kind of stuff than me. We were tapped in the mid-2000s to be a trainer for a stock market trading system. So we've been in this game, Forex game as well, for quite some time. We've never seen anything like what we're seeing right now. Now, in our 20-plus year career in marketing and investing, we've been looking for the golden egg. And again, you try a lot of stuff. Most stuff doesn't work. You invest a little bit over here with the platform, and most of those don't work. But every now and then, in your quest, in your search, you find a golden egg. And it's all worth it, because you make so much more money than anything that maybe you lost in your testing of this and testing of that. And so for all these years, I've been looking for the golden egg. But you know what? I was looking for the wrong thing. Instead of looking for the golden egg, I should have been focusing on the goose that lays the golden eggs. Think of Bitcoin as the golden egg. Think of Ethereum as the golden egg. Think of Ripple. That's the one that $1,000 would have been over $300,000 in 2017 as the golden eggs. Do we want golden eggs? Yes. But we want the goose that can lay golden eggs. And up until this point, we didn't have a goose. We had the potential of golden eggs, but not the goose. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is a third-party system that is about to launch. The folks behind the system have also been in marketing for many years, but they've been in this Digi space for the past few years. And boy, they've gotten good at it. They've gotten good at trading in this space, where sometimes I was on a webinar, and this isn't to say this is going to happen for us, but they said there have been days that they've generated 4 and 5% in a day, just trading, buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. And then they've also been doing some mining, and that is what is gotten us excited, because remember this: Bitcoins, how are they created? They're not printed like US dollars or euros. They're produced by lots of people running computers all around the world, solving these mathematical problems. That is referred to as mining. And mining, again, is simply confirming transactions. If, let's see who we have here. If Henry from Vegas was sending Mike some Bitcoin, there needs to be some way to confirm that transaction. And the way that is confirmed is through the mining process. Now, here's what has us excited. Is that there's a company. They haven't even launched fully yet. As a matter of fact, we'll be going out to meet with their folks, to tour their home office. Write it down, March 12th. We'll be going out, flying out to their corporate headquarters in Glendale, California, right outside of Los Angeles. They'll be doing a live broadcast from their office soon to show off this, what we're calling the Goose. We're calling the Goose something that they refer to as a mini miner. A mini miner. This is a small piece of equipment, no bigger than, let's say, an iPhone or something like a Samsung Galaxy, that you can have in your home. Now, mining is not new. When mining first started with Bitcoin, there were people all across the globe mining for Bitcoins, meaning they were earning Bitcoins from their computer. They'd be at work all day, they'd come home, and maybe they earn a fraction of a Bitcoin or a full Bitcoin or what have you, okay? Mining. The problem is that mining got very, very, very expensive, so that the majority of the Bitcoin mining doesn't happen in people's homes anymore. It happens in a huge mining farm, where you may have a big warehouse in Iceland or a big warehouse in Alaska that is just set up for mining Bitcoins, or what they refer to as altcoins. Altcoins would be alternate or alternative coins, alternative to Bitcoin. Okay. Well, what this company has done is they have a patent pending product that we'll refer to as a mini miner that you'll be able to have in your house. From what they're saying, your electricity bill may go up about $5 or so, but that it will be mining as many as 40 different altcoins. Now, the coin I keep hearing them talk about is Monero, which is why I wanted to show you Monero, the fact that it has far outproduced Bitcoin over the past 12 months, far outperformed, almost double. So I want you to imagine having this little apparatus in your house, hooked up to the internet, and while you are sleeping, it's mining. While you are working, it's mining. And now, how much Monero or how much of an altcoin will you earn? We don't know that just yet. I don't know that they would even allow us to say that. They're very conservative in their approach so that they can be compliant with the laws of the land. All right, so we're not going to say, hey, you're going to earn this amount or earn that amount. We don't know. Even if we did, we'd have to be very cautious so that we don't overhype it. But this, ladies and gentlemen, to us is the goose. The fact that you can have this in your physical possession, it will be hooked up to the company's mining pool, which is going to give you more potential for earning these digital assets. And it goes back to our 5 steps. What do we keep saying? The best way for you to develop your own coin portfolio, the best way for you to become a Digi millionaire is to own and control your own coin portfolio. By the way, this is not available to the public just yet. When it is available, this mini miner retail is going to go for $1,495. Wholesale, meaning if someone is a part of the company that is launching this. I'm not saying the name of the company, and the reason being is I want to make sure that we are compliant. We haven't gotten all the compliance guidelines as to what can be said or what can't be said. So by not mentioning the company's name, if I happen to be off on something, we shield the company. We want to protect that goose, the company that's helping us with this goose, the mini miner, to lay golden eggs. Okay. Now, there's something else that's going to happen. I don't have all of the details, again, because the company has not launched to the public yet. That could happen any day now. As a matter of fact, at the end of this webinar, at the top of the next hour, I'm going to be jumping on a corporate call. I'll give you that contact information if you want to jump on that corporate call so you can get an update. You might even be able to hear from the CEO. We were very privileged the other day to have the CEO visit our YouTube channel, and he left some glowing remarks on our YouTube channel. So hopefully we'll start developing a relationship with him. Today, I was in contact with the person that I was to be in contact with to schedule to go out to the company's office. Now, something else is going to happen, and they refer to this as hash power benefits. Now, hash power benefits, don't know exactly how all this is going to work, but hash power benefits will be paid Monday through Friday. And here's the key. You'll be able to earn hash power benefits in Bitcoin. Why? What do we keep saying? The best way for you to become a Digi millionaire is for you to develop and own your own coin portfolio. Well, what if you were earning Bitcoin every day, Monday through Friday? Or at least fractions of a Bitcoin. Hash power benefits in Ethereum. That's number 2 right now on the big board. Ethereum is right behind Bitcoin. What if you were earning some Ethereum or fractions of Ethereum Monday through Friday? Let that start to build up in your coin portfolio. Litecoin. Oh, Litecoin. Yep, that was on the chart. Here we go. Here's Litecoin. Was $4.37 January 1, 2017. Was $220 December 31st. 4,900% return. So what if you were earning some Litecoin with your daily hash power benefits? So now potentially you're adding, let's say like Monero from mining, or maybe some other coins, up to 40 different coins there. Now you're earning potentially some Bitcoin from hash power benefits paid Monday through Friday, Ethereum from hash power benefits paid Monday through Friday, Litecoin hash power benefits paid Monday through Friday. And they even said, now I haven't heard them say this lately, about 3 weeks ago I heard them talk about Ripple. So I don't know if they have changed that or not. That's why I have that asterisk. I hope that we can even get paid in Ripple some hash power benefits Monday through Friday. Because again, Ripple, nobody can guarantee that we'll see these types of returns, but that's what Ripple did over the last 12 months. Okay, so here's what you want to do, and we're going to start rounding third. Those of you who are here for the first time and you have not yet registered with this third-party system, again, I'm not saying the name of it. because I want to make sure that we're compliant, and we don't have all the compliance stuff just yet. Those of you who've been following us, you know who I'm talking about. So if you are a guest, you want to retrace your steps. How did you get here? Who invited you to tonight's webinar? Get back with them and say, hey, I want to get a link to register with that company. Now, right now, the company has not fully launched. All right. They had a pre-launch type of phase that they call 1.0, and very soon we'll be transitioning into 2.0, and that's when things will launch. Okay. Right now, you can register absolutely free. So you're going to ask the person that got you to tonight's webinar to send you their link for this third-party system. You're going to register with your name and your email address and all that good stuff, okay? And that's going to put you in the structure. There's a binary structure. We'll talk more about compensation once they launch 2.0 for those that might be interested in compensation. But you don't have to tell a soul. You can just get your mini miner. You don't have to tell a soul. You can just earn some hash power benefits in Bitcoin and or Ethereum and or Litecoin and perhaps even Ripple. So number one, you're going to get back with them. You're going to say, hey, give me that link to that third-party system, and let me go and register through your link, that person's link. And then number two, you want to ask them about CRB Digi Millionaires. That is our mastermind group. We've got a membership site. We do these types of webinars. We also will have all of our marketing in there. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we go to work with our new email follow-up series. So when someone opts into our lead capture pages, they will have a very robust video follow-up sequence. There'll be a call to action button that will come up through that training. And when someone clicks on that call to action button, they'll be taken to your referral link. So that way our folks using the system they won't have to create content. Right? We'll develop content with, in compliance with whatever the company says we can and can't say. Okay. We'll even have traffic. We already have a search traffic agency on standby, just waiting for us to start our search traffic campaigns. So when people go to Yahoo, people go to Bing, perhaps when they go to Google or what have you, they'll see some advertisements. Again, we want to make sure that we're compliant, so we'll wait for corporate to tell us what we can and can't say in those ads. So you only have to worry about the traffic if you become a part of our Digi Millionaire members. Plus, on Thursday nights, we have a coin portfolio lab where we go live in the markets. We show you exactly the assets that we have in our coin portfolio. And in many cases, we're able to actually take trades right there on the screen. You don't have to look at charts and all that other stuff. We teach you a very simple way of building your own coin portfolio. We introduced one asset. It was going for $2.56. By the end of the year, about 3 months after we introduced the asset, it was going for, I think, about $15. We introduced an asset that was going for under $300 when we introduced it. 2.5, 3 months later, it was going for $1,100. We introduced an asset that was going for $22. About 6 weeks later, it was going for 40 some odd dollars, over 100% return on that one. We had an asset that was at $1.20, now going for 70 some odd dollars. We introduced an asset that was going for a penny. Last time I saw it trading today, I think for 13 cents, 12 times. You get access to that, not from the third-party system we've talked about with the mini miner, but when you join us in CRB Digi Millionaires. To do so is $1 for a 7-day test drive. So come in, kick the tires. You like it, want to keep it, $50 a month, $49.95 a month. Most people are going to keep it. especially when you see how our coin portfolio labs go. This week, we're going to share a number of trades that we've done in our own trading. We'll give you the entries that we made. We'll give you the exits that we made. We had a couple of trades where we were in and out within a few days at 20, 25% returns. Again, that's got nothing to do with the third party. That's got everything to do with being a part of our mastermind group that we call CRB Digi Millionaires. So two things. Get the third party link from the person that invited you to tonight's webinar. Register for free. And then ask them for the CRB Digi Millionaire link. That is $1 for a 7-day test drive. Thereafter, if you want to keep it, which most of you will, just $50 a month, $49.95 a month. We do pay a small affiliate on that as well. 33% goes to you if you have someone that gets that from you. Plus, when you come inside, you'll see all of the other things that we have up our Digi sleeve. Okay, so a number of other different ways to generate Digi assets. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am finished. Hey, Queen, how about we open up for about 15 minutes of Q&A? And Queen, I'd like to keep our Q&A based on what we've discussed here today. I know there might be some other questions about some other things. We can address those on Thursday on our public webinar. But I'd like to keep everything around what we've talked about here tonight. Okay, so go on and put your questions in if you haven't already done so. Meanwhile, I'm going to post on the board the call number for the corporate call that I'm going to be jumping on. You can jump on. Anybody can jump on at the top of the hour. So the top of this hour. I think I forgot to put a PIN code. I need to put a PIN code. So it is a U.S.-based number. For those of you that may not be in the U.S., let me give you the PIN code. I forgot to post that. And Queen, I'm ready when you are. Queen, are you there? Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Okay, everybody. Okay, if you had questions about what was discussed here tonight, please ask those questions. If you did them earlier on, please re-put them in the box. If you have other questions, please come back Thursday night with those questions. I know you didn't, Doc, because you don't have a lot of information about the new program just yet. And someone's asking, about the mini miner? Were there going to be any discounted rates for those?
$9.95 is what, or $9.99, $9.95, something just under $1,000 is what we're hearing the pricing is going to be for those of us that are going to be members of the third-party system. And it's a product that can be retailed. It's going to be retailable at $14.95. So if somebody doesn't want to be a member of the third-party system, the network side, and they just want to have the product, they can get it for $14.95. And just think, had it just mined, a Monero coin. I don't know if it'll mine a Monero coin each month or what have you, what percentage, but if it had done that back on January 1, 2017, that could have been very, very significant. So $9.95 or $9.99, something like that is what I'm hearing. Next question. No monthly auto ship, by the way. No monthly auto ship, no monthly subscription. Okay, that's key. Next question.
Is it Wi-Fi capable?
Great question. Don't have a great answer. I think
it is.
Is it? You don't have to plug it up?
Yeah. You have to plug it up to set it up, but then it's Wi-Fi.
Okay. All right.
You have to put it on. Have to get it on the screen.
Okay.
After that, it's Wi-Fi.
The company's going to be doing a demo soon. I don't know if that'll be this week or next week or what have you. And I think they're going to live stream that so that we'll be able to see it from the privacy of our own homes. It doing what it does in their offices. Next question.
Okay. What is the time of the call?
Depends on what part of the world you're in. If you're in New York time, it's 10 p.m. And so 10 p.m. New York time. And if you don't know what that means, you can go to timeanddate.com to figure out what that means. So it's 10 past the hour now. It's top of the hour. Wherever that is in your part of the world, the top of the hour, this call is taking place. So I'll jump on about 5 minutes till.
Okay, will we be able to purchase more than one of the mini miners?
Here's what I understand. I understand that on the first run there's going to be like 500, which obviously is not enough to meet the demand. But that as we go into February, I'm hearing there's going to be thousands of those. I think that will be limited to one per position initially. And then in time, you might be able to have more than one. And I heard them say that you could probably have up to 10 and it run efficiently. I guess, after that, it may pull on your bandwidth or what have you. So I don't, again, we're still learning this from the calls. And of course, we'll be going out. Our target date is Monday, March the 12th. To be going. Queen, we would have gone out before. My wife has a couple of surgical procedures, and I just don't know when her follow-up appointments are going to be. So that gives us a safe time to get through those surgical procedures and then have her any follow-ups and what have you. So Monday, March the 12th, I hope we'll get a chance to meet a number of you, as many of you have followed us for years, and we've never met offline. So I look forward to meeting many of you offline. Next question.
Okay, so you have set a date for California?
Yeah, just got it set about an hour before we got on the webinar, Queen. Yep.
Okay.
Monday, March the 12th. I'll fly in probably Sunday. I'll probably stick around to Tuesday, or maybe fly out on Wednesday. So, would love to have some folks come out. We can go to the corporate office. We'll see what they will allow us to record. If anything, and hobnob, have a little fun, enjoy each other. Many of you we've seen your names for years, and it'll be great to put some faces with those names.
Okay, now for those who are asking questions about the third-party system, I would imagine you can get a lot more answers about it if you get on the call at 10 o'clock Eastern, New York time. The numbers on the screen. Because we won't have much more information than you do at this point. There will probably be a waiting list for the mini miner. The question is, will there be a waiting list?
I would imagine.
There probably will.
I would imagine.
There probably will be. Gail, they have not. Can we co-opt to do a bulk buy? They have not said anything about any bulk buying. They have just told us that the affiliate price is $9.95 and the retail price is $14.95.
Keep in mind, there's going to be compensation tied to all of that also that we haven't discussed because we don't know the full comp layout. We know that it's going to be multi-layered. They want to have a comp plan that allows the person who's not a recruiter, not a seller, doesn't want to be. Obviously the mini miner allows for that. The hash power benefits has nothing to do with recruiting, to my knowledge. And then also for the medium builder and also for the big builder. So they want to hit on all of those. So I don't know a lot about the full compensation plan. I know a little bit about the binary and how the hash power benefits were in 1.0. There could be some changes in 2.0.
One more question and then time's up.
Okay.
Okay, will you stream the call on this webinar for internationals?
The problem is I used to have a system where I could record audios. I don't have that system anymore. I may see if I can find something. Let me. I'm gonna work on that. Okay, I'm gonna work on that. I don't have much time to work on it, but I'm gonna work on it. and because I'm calling into a number, and it's not like I have a where I can go online and record it. Or I wouldn't know how to do that kind of stuff. I'm not a techie, so we'll try to get something for you.
Okay.
Is that it, Queen?
That's all we have time for, Doc.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so if you I need to ask this question. All right, so the webinar's over. In February, the plan is to launch our mastermind group. I'm curious, and I'll probably do a poll to make it more scientific. And this is what we're going to have is we're going to have some type of group. It might be a Facebook group, it might be a Telegram group, or what have you. Where one of the things that we'll be doing is, we'll be making some posts, and it'll be a chance for our members to get to know each other. Now, these would be our CRB Digi Millionaire members, because one of the things we're going to do, Queen, is if we add or delete or do something in our coin portfolio throughout the week, we're going to post it. Like the other day, I placed an order to buy a particular asset at a particular price for my coin portfolio, and I got executed. I mean, I bought it at the price I want to buy it for, and then when I knew I owned it, I immediately placed an order to sell it at a particular price, and we sold it, and we had like a 20-some-odd% return in just a few days. So we're going to do stuff like that in this group. Hey guys, hey guyettes, past performance don't indicate future results. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just documenting my journey. I just bought this particular asset on this exchange at this price, or I just sold this asset at on this exchange at this price. And then, of course, if you want to follow suit, that's totally up to you, okay? So I'm just curious. This is not in stone yet. All right. If you want something like that, before you put anything in the question box. All right. If you want something like a Facebook group, don't put anything yet. You're going to do FB. If you want a Telegram group, and I have no idea how to administer Telegrams, I'd have to figure this out, do TG. Or if you want our own social media group, you could do own. Before you put anything in the questions box, there's a system where you can actually set up. It's like setting up your own social media. It works just like Facebook would without all the advertisements or what have you. But it'd be a closed group. It would only be those that are CRB Digi Millionaires. So that's one thing that I've looked at. People could post pictures, and they could do posts. And of course, if somebody acts the fool, we'll love them, but we'll kick them out. That kind of stuff. So with that, in your questions box, either put Facebook, FB, Telegram, TG, or OWN. I'm curious. Wow, I didn't expect that. Queen, what are you seeing? You seeing what I'm seeing?
I didn't. I wasn't looking.
Take a look. I'm really shocked. I thought Facebook would have won out. Facebook's not even close. They said OWN.
No.
It's not even close.
Our own. No, I'm not a big FB person either.
Well,
So you would have.
I mean, I know there's a lot of people that are on FB. Obviously, a lot of people on FB. The one thing that I was concerned about with Facebook is I've had groups in the past, and when I moved from the U.S. to my island paradise, Queen, all of a sudden, Facebook looking out for me, it was security. They wanted me to answer some security questions because my IP was no longer showing up in the U.S. and I was starting to do some advertising through Facebook. And the problem is I could not make a post. I couldn't answer anybody. I couldn't make a post on my Facebook groups or even my fan page while they were looking at my account. Well, Queen, they said they'd get back to me in 24 to 72 hours. It wound up being like 4 months later. So for 4 months, I couldn't do. So I have this group and people ask a question. I couldn't give an answer. I have this group. I can't make a post. So that was my concern about Facebook. So, and no, I'm not talking about the third party's social media site. They've got a social media site. This one would be for our CRB Digi Millionaire following. Okay, those that are in CRB Digi Millionaires. It would work like any other social media, except it wouldn't have it wouldn't have the advertisements. I think we could turn on advertisements if you wanted to. I don't know that that's something we'd want to do. It'd just be a place that would be our home. You could get to know other people around the globe. All right. Iron sharpens iron. And then we could freely post what we're doing without worrying about Facebook's policies and procedures and all that other stuff. Okay. All right. So cool. We'll take a look at that. Someone said Telegram is more secure.
More secure?
Well, they said it's more secure than
FB.
than FB. Someone is saying no Telegram. Okay, we'll take a look at the own. Queen. I mean, I don't know what the percentage. You know what? Thursday, I'll probably do a poll so we can get the percentages. But right now, OWN is kicking the patootie of Facebook and Telegram. All right, let's go. Let's see if we can somehow record this audio for our international audience. Love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours. We have recorded this. We'll hopefully get it out. And hey, right now, since we never mentioned the name of the third-party system, Queen, I see no reason why you can't take what we'll post tomorrow and put it on your own YouTube channel if you want to, as a way to kind of get the word out and what have you. Queen! Hold on. How do we say this? Hold on. How do we end this? Let's change the world together, strong with yours. Let's get you to Digi. My gosh, millionaire status. It's all about the what, Queen?
Heck, Doc, it's all about the goose.
There we go. Oh, we're getting it, Queen. We're getting it. We're getting it. Good night, everyone.